Hi, thanks for listening in. My name is Melanie Bonet, and what I want to talk about today is first, how's everybody doing? And I ask that because I know there's so much going on in our personal lives, as well as in the United States and in the world. There's so much human action that is rippling through a lot of us. And I hope you're taking care of yourself. I hope you have strategies and practices that can help you. And if you don't have something that's really helping, consider what I'm talking about today and throughout my channel. And if any of this resonates with you, hit the like button and please consider subscribing. On to the content for the video. Today's video is about, can people with ADHD meditate? And many of you are thinking, yeah, no, too busy, mine's too busy, too much going on. And that had been an issue for me as well. But in my journey to have a calmer, less reactive mind, and to also not be stressed about life to the point where I want to be in a fetal position in my bed, I needed to find strategies, and meditation was still something that made sense to me, but I needed something different, whether it be moving meditation. I explored them all. I did Qigong, I did Tai Chi, I did yoga, and a few other things. I did Shintara, which that was interesting and powerful. But there's lots of different things you can do. But for me, in terms of meditation, I needed something added to the mix for it to work for me. And I did have a sense, my intuition told me it would work for me, which is why I kept going back to it. But I didn't know how to deal with that part of my brain that was constantly, it felt like I was just constantly changing channels, from a conversation to something informative to something I thought about creating, all these different things. So I worked with a succession of teachers. Some of them are healers who incorporate a meditative quality to their work. Some of them are people who worked about the midline from a martial arts standpoint. I've also got a history of working of family members who are energy healers back in Louisiana. I'm from a big Creole family. And there was always this idea that, yeah, there is a way to access healing. And I didn't fully understand it when I was young, but I get it now. So all those things are part of my experience and my journey and my learning. When I met up with concepts from different teachers and things I've read that talked about the somatic perspective, talked about energy lines, talked about interconnectivity, talked about how your challenges in life can manifest into physical ailments in your body, and how emotional trauma can create stuck energy in your body and can create landmines of intense emotional energy and feeling. When I started to kind of see all that, something in my brain, and I think it was because I have ADHD, started trying to pull these things together like I was weaving something. And I'm sure I'm not the only one that's done this, but it was like I was putting this cosmic puzzle together. And when I say cosmic, not to be woo-woo, but more of, it wasn't puzzle pieces shaped, but more lines that started to connect for me and feel like truth. And so I say all this to say that when I meditate, it is an energetics meditation. It is somatic, because we go through the body to understand who we are in the moment, what's real, What's the message? What's the wisdom from our body in the moment? Not yesterday, not 2 days ago, not in the future. What are you feeling right now? And then when you go into sensation, then you start to get a sense, okay, well, what do I feel? And it isn't just I sense something in my body, stiffness, anger, looseness, whatever that is. As you're doing all those things, going through that process, and in my case, I do it on my own, but I do it regularly with a guided teacher and therapist who does this work. And invariably, my ADHD brain will do this. I'll be getting into the groove, totally into it, starting to sense, starting to relax, starting to get into stillness. And then my brain will pop up with some ridiculousness sometimes. And sometimes it's something that I really should have written down. All kinds of stuff pop up. And then before you know it, a minute, 2 minutes have gone by, and I've lost where she is in the guiding process, which is frustrating. But part of the journey of this work, the good of this work, is that I am kind and patient with myself when that happens. And I want that for you. So, as I'm doing this, I get that. But what I end up doing is just bringing my focus, like it's a spotlight, bringing it back to the last thing I remembered. And invariably, my teacher will say something that triggers, oh yeah, we're in the midline right now, or we're in the heart area right now, or we're at our third eye. And when I mention those areas, I mean internal gaze. And so understand that the practice can teach you to be kind to yourself when your brain starts pinging all over the place. You know, you get intellectually, you can know that, but practice gets you to develop the muscle to be kinder and compassionate with yourself about this stuff, this particular penchant. At the same time, the way in which our brains have, ADHD brains, are all over the place at all times, feels like, can contribute to the imaginative talent you need to have to go inward and move energy. You can also access a part of you that is an idea generator, that creative side of you. And that part of you that is an alert to your environment, that is often a quality for ADHD brains. All of that can add a richness and depth and expansiveness to your meditation. So, yes, people with ADHD can meditate. I'm a testament to that. And so, if it's been hard for you to meditate and you seriously want a place and space to quiet your brain and get stress relief and get to a place where your brain can take some of these ideas and enrich them to the point where you're ready to activate them. And that part of you that can make action challenging because of the brain, because of the ADHD brain, some of that can shift too. Yes, outside of an energetics meditative practice, you're going to have to put systems in place. I've tried many. I'm trying some new ones right now. But there's a component to this work that has enriched my ability to believe more in what I have to offer and my ability to show up and activate to achieve a task and follow through on something. I'm not saying it's entirely easy for me now, but my presence to these tasks are different. The why is part of that. And the why for me is that it's incredibly important to me to always remember that I'm here to make specific types of ripples. And sometimes I don't even know when I'm supposed to make the ripple and to whom and sometimes to how. And I think that has a lot to do with my understanding and about how I want the world to be for my own experience and for others, which is for us to care about each other more and understand how much we're connected. And I always jokingly talk about how if you have differences with people and they seem to be inclined to devalue you, I always bring it back to the idea. It's like, okay, the person that you keep devaluing, the type of people you keep devaluing, one of them has the bone marrow that your grandbaby needs. And if we don't take care of one another, that person may not be available to you to help your grandbaby have a richer, healthier life. So for me, it's about enriching my life as well as others, because I feel like we're all part of this big web of life. And we all have something to offer. And an energetics meditative process, a practice that can help you power some of the stuff that sometimes is challenging, and then help you open the door to more talents, the possibilities. So thank you for listening. And again, my name is Melody Bonet. There's information about me in the description. I've got a new school site. And so if you want to test out one or two of my videos, which I have one on there right now, I should have a new one that is specific for people with ADHD, for people to test out my process, because I guide people mostly in groups. And this is all a new venture for me, but I do it in groups, but I can also do one-on-one. That's very, very catered to you. So think about that, and take care, everyone.